achieved.
Will. Welcome back, everybody, to Studio de Jeffrey. I guess that's like my Collinsworth move where I have the mic and the thing pretending like it's going to sit there the whole time, but because of where the camera is, I like to get back a little bit, so I like to pull it out. Yeah, sorry about that. Today, the countdown to Cowboys camp continues here from Studio de Jeffrey de Quarantine, and we're going to do offensive line and tight end. Knock two out with one stone, you know what I'm saying? And we'll start with the one that is more interesting. Previewing the offensive line going into Cowboys camp. Let's start with this. Tyron Smith's going to make the team. He's okay. Brandon Thorne, guy I really respect his offensive line work, did his tiers of offensive linemen and still had Tyron Smith in the very top tier of left tackles. I think he had 3 or 4 names there. And I agree with him. You know, so for all the talk about Tyron Smith's demise and when are we going to replace him, you can acknowledge that he's got a back situation sometimes and sometimes he misses a couple of games. You can acknowledge those things, but also remember, Tyron Smith's still a badass. Lyle Collins is a badass. So those guys are going to make the team, okay? Now, at offensive tackle on this squad, other names that we need to know. Your left tackle is going to be a badass. Your right tackle is going to be a badass. Cam Irving is going to be your new swing tackle, I would imagine. Interestingly enough, he hadn't had a great career at tackle in the NFL so far, and I actually liked his tape better at center when he was at Florida State. Don't let me lie to you. Pretty sure it was Florida State. I liked his tape better at center. I thought he looked really good at center at tackle. He's but hopefully he can survive if you have somebody miss a couple of games and things aren't a train wreck. And hopefully your new coaching staff will adjust if they lose somebody like Tyron Smith and not pretend that the next man up is just going to be Tyron Smith. It wasn't your fault, Chaz. Wasn't your fault at all. It's Garrett's fault. Tyron Smith, and to set this up, they kept 11 offensive linemen last year. That's a really big number. Now, one of those was Connor McGovern, who they had to keep to then put on IR, so really they kept 10. I would imagine they'll keep 8 or 9. Maybe 9 will be my operating number here. So Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Dunsky, Cam Irving, likely Dunsky, he's in there. And then the battle for the other offensive tackle spots, you got guys on the roster named Wyatt Miller and Terrence Steele. I'm not going to really worry about those guys. Brandon Knight, Mitch Hyde. Those are the 2 names to know. Brandon Knight was a guy that the last coaching staff liked. He really impressed in camp a year ago. And Mitch Hyde is a guy that he's an offensive tackle out of Clemson. Again, don't let me lie to you. I'm doing this off the top of my head. The previous staff really liked him, had a 4th-round grade on him, got him as an undrafted free agent. But if you watched camp last year when Mitch Hyde was out there, you wouldn't have really high hopes. So Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Cam Irving, and Brandon Knight are the names to know. So let's hold those for the moment and move over to the offensive guard spot. And let me know if there's a not very well-known guy that you're pulling for or that you think has got a little something. Let me know in the comments. Also in the comments, let me know what you want to talk about tomorrow. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up. Mash that thumbs up, baby. Let me know. Let me know that you love me because I love you. Zach Martin in. Left guard. Here's where it gets hairy, right? This is the Cowboy camp preview. So Connor McGovern, Connor Williams, Joe Looney, Adam Redmond, Tyler Biadasz. I'm throwing out a lot of names between the left guard and the center spot. And I include Joe Looney because it's going to be a weird ramp-up year, and he's played. Ideally, you want someone to take that job from Looney. Like, I love Joe Looney. He's an awesome personality. He's an awesome dude, but he's not an NFL starter. He's just not. So, ideally, what you want is Tyler Biadasz, the guy they traded up for in the 4th round to come take that job, or Connor McGovern, the year before's, what round they take him, 3rd or 4th? 3rd round pick maybe. You want one of those guys to come take the center job because there you're looking at a higher ceiling. You're looking at a guy that maybe he can be a long-term starter in the NFL, and that would be the goal. I don't think you have that in Joe Looney. So if he wins the center job, it'll be a stopgap thing until somebody's ready to take that job. So at left guard, I'll say it's Connor Williams versus Connor McGovern. I'm cheering for McGovern to win that job, if you're interested. And at center, I'll say it's Biadasz versus Joe Looney. Although if it were up to me, I would have that open for Connor McGovern to play center as well. And we're just trying to find the two best guys out of those four, and we'll make it work. But when you're surrounded by Zach Martin, Lyle Collins, and Tyron Smith, there's a reason that Pro Football Focus and others are saying this is a top 3 offensive line in football, because it is, and it should be. Because you've got 3 outstanding players, and you've got competition between these other guys to go make it work. Most likely outcome of this, I will say, is what's most likely? Williams or McGovern winning the job? What do you think at left guard? I'll say Williams just because he's played a lot in the NFL, and McGovern did basically nothing last year, but I'm cheering for it to go I always cheer for the younger guy, the newer guy, because in my mind, that means that you've got a brighter future. Because it's like, holy cow, the guy who hadn't really played won the job. Sweet. So I would cheer for it to be Connor McGovern and Tyler Biadasz at center and left guard. And then Connor Williams can be a backup literally everywhere on the offensive line. If you like him better than Cam Irving, he can be your swing tackle, he can be your backup guard, he can be all these things. And then Looney is a depth piece, is the way that I would like to see it play out. God, is the smart money on Looney at center and Connor Williams at guard to start the year? It's the exact opposite of what I'm hoping for. Go take those jobs, McGovern, Biadasz. Go take them. Do the right thing. That's what I want from you. So when we're trying to whittle it down to 9, we'll whittle it down as Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Cam Irving. That's 3. That's offensive tackles. Zach Martin, Connor McGovern, Connor Williams. Guards. That's 6. Joe Looney, Tyler Biadasz. That is 7 and 8. And for my 9th spot, we will have a battle between Brandon Knight and Adam Redmond. And give me, because they got Irving, do they feel like other guys can be swing tackles? You've got backups on the interior. I will say Brandon Knight as your 10th offensive or 9th offensive lineman. And if they keep 10, give me Adam Redmond to be the 10th guy. So that's your offensive line breakdown as we preview camp. Let me know, what do you hope the starting 5 is on the offensive line? Hit me up in the comments and tell me. If you think I'm a stupid head for any reason, let me know in the comments. If you watch me play Call of Duty, let me know in the comments. Twitch.tv/timeforjeffrey. That's not as important as this channel. YouTube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. Make sure you're on that bad boy, okay? I want to do the tight end preview here as well because I like my videos to be a certain length. I don't want you to click on them and watch for 3 minutes and then it's over. I want you to get some quality time here. I want to spend time with you. And tight end doesn't take long. So I thought, I'll just tack it in there with the offensive line. Blake Jarwin. It's Blake Jarwin breakout time. He got paid. Old Man River is not blocking the way anymore. It's Blake Jarwin time to get his shine on, be a 700-800-yard receiver. Come on and get you some, Blake Jarwin. Now, behind him, the only question is how many are they going to keep? Blake Bell, the Belldozer, I would imagine, is going to make the team. He's been on 4 teams in the last 5 years. The last 2 years, he's had the exact same stat line both years. A total of 8 catches and 67 yards. 8.4 per catch. No touchdowns. He's a blocking tight end, which means I wish they hadn't signed him, with all due respect. I don't want a blocking tight end. I don't want a tight end attached to the line of scrimmage unless he's in there because you think it gives him a nice matchup to get up the seam. I'm not here for extra guys in the box. It's dumb. You guys think I hate running backs. I hate giving them big money, but what I really hate is running backs into bad situations. So let's get our tight ends away from the line of scrimmage, okay? Let's give lighter boxes, more room to go, and then if you want to run it, sweet. I gave you a better look. So Blake Bell will be on the team. Hopefully he doesn't play much. Hopefully he's a special teams guy. How many will they keep is the question. I guess they keep 3, which means Dalton Schultz is probably your 3rd guy. Of the other names that are on the roster right now, there are a couple that I think are kind of fun to watch. Cole Hicutini. If I screwed that up, I apologize. Second-year guy out of Louisville. He was active for 4 games with the 49ers back in 2017. So I guess he's not a second-year guy, but if he makes the team, it would be his second year as a active roster guy instead of a practice squad guy. He was on the Cowboys practice squad last year. 40 time at the Combine was not good, but he was Lamar Jackson's leading receiver in 2016 at Louisville in terms of catches and touchdowns, not yards. Limited athleticism, at least according to his Combine measurements, but interesting. Good college production. Lamar Jackson probably helps you be pretty open. But good college production at a Power 5 school, interesting. Sean McKeon out of Michigan. I know very little about him, so don't worry about him. He ain't making the team. And the other one, Charlie T. I like some Charlie T. He had pretty good tape at Portland State. Charlie Taumopeu. I screwed that up. I guarantee it. But he was an All-American at Portland State. Great jumps at the Combine, 4.75 guy, solid shuttles. But he's 6'2 1/4, 240. So you would expect him to be even more athletic. But he's got some pretty good tape, small school guy. He's worth watching in camp. You know, this new coaching staff doesn't care about Dalton Schultz. Can I sneak Charlie T in there for you? I don't know. And that's it. You know, it's going to be Jarwin. It's going to be Blake Bell. And it'll probably be Dalton Schultz. And hopefully they don't play much outside of Jarwin. That's your tight end preview. Keep tight ends off the field. You know, make football great again. Leave in the comments what you want to do tomorrow. I love you guys. Probably do a mailbag tomorrow. Get that knocked out for you. Or are there more position groups I should do? What do we got left? Quarterback. We got running back. I did receivers. I did tight ends. I did offensive line. I did defensive line. I did secondary. I haven't done linebackers. So we could do linebackers, quarterbacks, and running backs is what's left. If you want to hear about one of those, they're pretty self-evident, those groups, but I guess in the interest of thoroughness, why am I still rambling? Why are you still here? I love you guys, man. I love you. In the comments, leave me your favorite style of shoe. Mine's the flip-flop.